Well, the
So
other thing as well to that is like I had seen, when we chatted before we got on, one of the things we were talking about was, does this remove the left tail recession risks off the table? And the really interesting thing is, I don't know if either of you remember this, Rob, we've talked about this before, but back in 2017, when I was still managing money, Yellen came out and said, there'll never be another financial crisis in our
yeah, I
lifetimes.
heard.
And I
Which
remember
is
with
right.
my team laughing about that at the time. And then, COVID came around and they turned you remember every single macro chart I had on payrolls, they all broke because the data just went berserk and they turned the economy around on the dime and they figured out that they could do so via liquidity.
Geordie Visser who said this to me from a different perspective, but he's like, I don't think there can be recessions again. And Julian and I took that back to Julian and said, Julian, there's something sticking in my head. And he had this Yellen quote. And it was one Saturday when we were writing GMI. We just threw this around and we're like, most recessions are basically credit events. And normally it means the collateral has fallen and it's getting called upon. So the collateral doesn't cover the cost of your debt. That's generally what happens. But once you debase the currency, the collateral can't. And I learned that lesson in 2020 when it all started happening. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Where's the insolvency trade that I thought that was going to happen? And then I realized we can't have a credit event. We can't really have a recession because of what they're doing. It's not decoupled per se. I just think that recessions the business cycle is driven by the credit cycle. And now it's just the liquidity cycle because the credit side of the equation can't go bust because they can't allow